Well, the message of the Olympics is to unite the world in competition and sportsmanship. Some also believe the Games reveal the pulse of international political landscape, which could make the next couple of weeks very interesting. Here to help us unpack the ties between sports and geopolitics is Stacy Lorenz, a vice dean at the U of A's Augustana campus, a sports historian as well. Stacy, thanks so much for being here. Is there any way to deny that sports and politics really get mashed together at the Olympics?
Well, I don't think there's any way to deny that. If you're the president of the International Olympic Committee, you are constantly denying that. I mean, that's been a pattern that we've seen for decades, actually. And so there is definitely that tension and sort of that, I would go so far as to say, hypocrisy at the heart of the games, where the International Olympic Committee will deny over and over again that the Olympics are political. They'll hold the games up as some kind of apolitical gathering of the world's nations. But of course, everything about the Olympic Games is inherently political. And so I'm sure we'll see that play out. We already saw that a little bit yesterday with some of the statements coming out in response to the ICE protests. So yeah, fascinating political stuff going on all the time.
With the countries involved, especially in the Winter Olympics and what's going on around the world, we could see certainly some big headlines coming out of this. Let's talk with Canada and the United States. We had the hockey teams during the four-nation face-off fighting each other. That sort of rhetoric has sort of slowed down, but it's still existing. Do you expect there to be that same heated rivalry between Canada and the United States in hockey and other sports through the Olympics?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have my eye on that because I think, well, first of all, I'm pretty confident that President Trump will say something that will inflame the situation again, particularly if Canada and the US are playing against each other. Absolutely. Last year, the Four Nations hockey tournament in particular was really it was a real inflection point in this rivalry with the US. And we saw all of the connections to the talk of tariffs and the trade war. And the fact that it was the first time NHL players had been competing at that level with each other since 2014 at the Olympics, really added to things too. And so this will be on the Olympic stage, an even bigger stage, not simply Canada and the US. And another wrinkle that we have now is that unlike the Four Nations Cup, we also have the Canadian and American women's Olympic teams facing off. And that's been arguably, just as strong or even stronger rivalry because they've met in, almost every final World Championship Olympics over the last several decades. So we'll see that play out too. And, as people who follow those hockey games know, actually the women's final has often been more intense than the men's in the last few Olympic Games. So we'll have that bonus as well. But hopefully it would be great to see Canada and the US play in both the men's and women's hockey final. And I would bet that will be, again, we'll see a lot of that rhetoric around those games, understandably, in light of the last year or so.
And, as you mentioned, it's not just Canada and the United States. There are other countries involved here as well that we'll watch very closely as this all unfolds, beginning today with the opening ceremonies tomorrow. Stacey, we always appreciate your insight. Thanks so much for joining us.
Okay, you're welcome. It's great to talk to you.
As mentioned, the opening ceremonies tomorrow in Milano Cortina.